Good afternoon, my dear students. Today we're going to have another virtual class for Math in Modern World. This is Mathematics of Graphs, which is under week 13. So this now our objectives for today's lesson. At the end of this module, you are expected to first define graph and its parts. 2. Distinguish between the complete and equivalent graph. 3. Identify the path and degree of a curve. So what is a graph? It refers to a set of points, we call that vertices. And aligned segments or curves, or we call that edges. It is used to represent any scenarios. What is graph G? It is a pair G, it's equal to your vertices and edges, where your V is equal to your V of your graph, which is what we call the set of vertices. Your is that your edges of the graph, the set of edges. So if we're going to look on our figure, we have our example. The vertices are S, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. So ibig sabihin, ito yung mga endpoints pa natin, yung mga corners pa natin. Okay, so those are the vertices. When you say edges, it refers to the XS, the distance between the two vertices. XS, we have XB, then we have also our XB, then we have your XU, we have your VW, okay? Then we have your SB, okay? S, then V, we have also your SU, SW, okay? SY. Then we have your WY, then we have your UY, we have your UZ, and YZ. So these are the edges of the graph. So next we have your D edges. An edge may be leveled by a pair of vertices. For instance, E is equal to V and W. E is said to be incident on B and W. Isolated vertex is a vertex without incident edges. Okay? Yung edge pa natin. Yung edges pa natin. So dito, V and W, it is incident. Okay? And this is what we call the isolated vertex. So next we have your D special edges. No? Parallel edges, two or more edges joining a pair of vertices. In the example, A and B, vertices A and B are joined by the two parallel edges, no? So dito, parallel itong dalawa, which means they are equivalent. Or if you're going to have that one, we have an isosceles triangle, wherein there are two equal sides. When I say lobes, an edge that starts and ends at the same vertex. So nagsimula siya sa D, umikot po siya, nakaroon ng looping. In the example, vertex D has a loop. Kung saan po siya nagsimula, doon po din siya babalik. Next, we have your D special graph. When you say simple graph, it's a graph without loops or parallel edges. So if we're going to look at our figure dito, wala siyang loop, at the same time, wala siyang parallel na edges po. Ibig sabihin, they are not equal in distance. Okay? So when we say weighted graph, a graph where each edges or edge is assigned a numerical level or weight. So dito, yung mga edge po natin ay nagkakaroon po siya ng specific measurement. Ang tawag po doon is a weighted graph. So yung magmula dito sa B1 to B5, the distance is 5. B1 to B2, the distance or length is equal to 4. Magmula dito, we have 3. This one is 4. This one is 6. This is 5. Kaya tinawag nilang weighted graph because there's a corresponding value lahat po ng mga edges po niya. Okay? Next, you have your D directed graph or D-graph. G is a directed graph or D-graph if its edge has been associated with an ordered pair of vertices. Its edge as a direction. So dito meron tayong mga direction niya. Kaya tinawag nilang directed graph. Okay? Pointing towards B, pointing towards A, pointing towards F. Okay? So if you're going to have on the engineering applications, this arrow represents the tension and compression of the load. When the arrow is going away from the certain point, that is tension. When it's getting towards, that is compression. So that is for the engineering applications, no? So dito kaya tinawag nila directed graph because there's a specific direction. So next we have the complete graph Kn. Let n is equal to greater than or equal to 3. The complete graph Kn is the graph with n vertices and every pair of vertices is joined by an edge po dito. So the figure represents K5. We're going to look on our figure. We have A, B, C, D, E. The vertices, we have 5 edges po. 5 edges pa, no? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kaya K to the 5 siya. We call that a complete graph. So take note, your n should be greater than or equal to 3. Pero pag mayroon tayong dalawang vertices lang po, ganun lang po siya, ibig sabihin, wala tayong graph noon. At wala tayong mabubuong polygon. The minimum number of sides for a polygon is 3 to make a triangle. Kaya sabi dito, it should be greater than or equal to 3. Pag 3 po siya, we have now a closed polygon. That's already K3 po yan. So, ang tawag po doon is complete graph po siya. Next, we have your D, connected graph. A graph is connected if every pair of vertices can be connected by a path. Each connected subgraph of a non-connected graph G is called a component of G, of the graph. Okay? So dito, meron tayong two connected components. And if we're going to look on our figure, meron tayong solid dot doon sa mga vertices po nila. So ang tawag po doon, it is connected or continuous po siya. Yung mga iba po kasi, meron tayong tinatawag na hole dito. Ibig sabihin, that is not connected. Okay? So dito, solid dot po tayo. So the vertices are connected. So we have your D adjacency matrices. EIG, wherein 1 if your BI and BG is an edge of G. 0 otherwise. So in your figure 3, we have your E simple graph. We have A, B, C, and D. Okay? So how are we going to apply this one? Sabi niya, pag ang edge po is G, the answer is 1. Otherwise, the answer is 0. So how are we going to apply that? So this is your incidence matrix. When you say incidence matrix, the level rows with vertices, the level column with edges. If an edge is incident to a vertex, 0 otherwise. So dito meron tayong 4 edges, no? V, W, X, Y. V, W, X, Y. Tapos yung mga edges po niya, E, F, G, H, J. Okay? So we're going to have their matrix. Sabi niya, 1 if an edge is incident to a vertex, 0 otherwise. So if our vertex is B, so your E is incident. Connected po siya. Tapos yung F is also connected dun sa vertex na B. Kaya yung sagot po natin at edge, F, E, and F, the answer is 1. Kasi incident po siya. Whereas, G, H, J, hindi po na siya connected. Ito yung G po natin, ito yung H po natin, ito yung J po natin. So that is, they are not incident. Kaya 0 otherwise. For vertex W po naman, okay, yung A po natin is incident. Kaya 1. Yung F po natin is not incident. They're not connected. Kaya 0 po siya. Yung J po natin is connected. Kaya 1 po siya. Yung H po natin, not connected, 0. Yung J po natin is 1, which is connected. Sa X po naman, okay, yung E natin, yung F, at saka G, they are not incident to the vertex. Kaya 0 siya. 1, 2, 3. So yung H, at saka yung J, that is incident. Kaya meron tayong 1 and 1. Next, for vertex Y, okay? So, yung E po natin is not connected, is not incident. Pero yung F po natin is incident. Yung J po natin is incident. Yung H po natin is incident. While your J is not incident. Kaya naging 0. So, that's the way how we're going to make incidence matrix. Okay? 1 if an edge is incident to a vertex, 0 otherwise. So next you have your D, path and cycles. A path of a length n is a sequence of n plus 1 vertices and n is the consecutive edges. So we're going to look on our figure po dito, we have path of length 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that is now your path. 0, magsisimula 0 plus 1, so doon na yung 1, kaya n plus 1, no? So, vertices and n consecutive edges. Next, we have your D. A cycle is a path that begins and ends at the same vertex. So, if this is our vertex, then if we're going to start it here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, we have your a cycle of length 9. And then kung saan siya nagsimula, doon rin po siya mag-i-stop. Tawag po doon is a cycle is a path or a cycle. Okay? Kung baka cycle, bumalik po siya doon sa dati. Next, we have your Euler cycles. A Euler cycle in a graph G is a simple cycle that passes through every edge of graph only once. Okay? So we're going to look on our figure. If we're going to start of letter D, okay? So dadaan lang po siya only once. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? Yun po yung cycle po niya. So it will pass once only. That is what we call the Euler cycle. So next of your D, the degree of a vertex. The degree of a vertex, V, is denoted by a Greek symbol delta. Okay? So delta V, or delta vertex, is the number of edges incident on vertex. Example, if this is our graph, the delta of your vertex A is equal to 4. Bakit? Dahil meron tayong 4 edges po yan. This is your vertex A, 1, 2, 3, 4. Kung saan po siya, kung ilan po yung connections po niya. Okay? Next, delta B, we have 3. This is your vertex B, we have 1, 2, and 3. Okay? Next, delta C, we have 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Delta D, we have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Delta E is equal to 4. Okay? So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Delta F, we have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And delta G is 1, 2, 3. So that's the way how we're going to count the degree of a certain vertex. Kung ilan po yung edges na nakakonekta doon sa kanya. Represents the degree of a vertex. So next will be your D, mathematical systems. It says that our objective is that at the end of this module, you are expected to identify different mathematical systems, understand modular arithmetic and how it works. 3. Perform operations in modular arithmetic and solve congruence equations. So what is modular arithmetic? Modular arithmetic is a system of arithmetic for integers, which considers the remainder. In modular arithmetic, okay, the numbers wrap around upon reaching a given fixed quantity. This given quantity is known as modulus, to leave a remainder. An intuitive usage of modular arithmetic is with a 12-hour clock. If it is 10 o'clock now, then in 5 hours the clock will show 3 instead of 15. 3 is the remainder of 15 with a modulus of 12. Okay? So 15 minus 12, the remainder is 3. Okay? A number x mod n is the equivalent of asking for the remainder of x when divided by n. Though integers a and b are said to be congruent or in the same equivalence class, modulo n, if they have the same remainder upon division by n, in such a case, we say that a is congruence b mod n. So we have your example, modulus 4. We have 0 mod 4, the answer is 0. 1 mod 4 is equal to 1. So nandito po siya. Kaya 1 pa rin, no? 2 mod 4, 2 pa rin. 3 mod 3, nandito po siya. Hindi pa tampos yung cycle po niya. 4 mod 4, the answer is 0. There's no remainder. 5 mod 4, so there is a remainder of 1. 5 minus 4, the answer is 1. Okay? So 12 mod 4, the answer is 0. Because 12 divided by 4, the answer is 3. That is a whole number or an integer. And also 13 mod 4. Okay? So if we are going to have 12 divided by 4 is 3. So 3 times 4 is 12. 13 minus 12, the remainder is 1. Okay? Next, modulus 6 po. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 mod 6, 1 pa rin. 2 mod 6 is 2. 3 mod 6 is 3. 4 mod 6 is 4. 5 mod 6 is 5. 6 mod 6 is 0. So there's no remainder. But 7 mod 6, the remainder is 1. 8 mod 6, the remainder is 2. Okay? Next, modulus 9. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 0 mod 9 is 0. 1 mod 9 is 1. 2 mod 9 is 2. 3 mod 9 is 3. 4 mod 9 is 4. 5 mod 9 is 5. 6 mod 9 is equal to 5 6. 7 mod 9 is 7. 8 mod 9 is 7. 8. 9 mod 9 is 0. So, for the clockwise ulit, 10 mod 9, pang 10 ito, the remainder is 1. This one is 11, remainder is 2. 12, remainder is 3. 13, remainder is 4. 15, remainder is 5. Okay? 14 remainder is 5. Okay? So, 6, we have 15, no? Mode 9 is 6, no? 15 minus 9, the answer is 6. 16 minus 7, 9 is equal to 7. 17 minus 9 is 8. 18 mode 8, 18 mode 9, the answer is 0. Because 18 divided by 9, the answer is 2. Okay? So 19, 1 pa rin. 20 is 2. 21 is 3. 22, 24, 25, 26, hanggang maging 27. 27 mode 9, the answer is 0. 28 mode 9, ito na siya. May remainder na 1. 30, may remainder na 3. Ito na yung remainder 3, no? 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. The remainder is 8. Next, modulus 9. For a counterclockwise naman po tayo dito. Negative 9 mode 9, the answer is 0. Negative 8 mode 9, ito siya, no? The answer is 1 pa rin. May remainder na 1. Negative 7 mode 9 is 2. Negative 5 is 4. Negative 4 is 5. Negative 3 is 6. Negative 2 is 7. Negative 1 is 8. Okay? For the counterclockwise direction. So next what we have the congruence. For a positive integer n, the integers a and b are congruent mode n. If their remainders when we divided by n are the same. So are we going to have that example? 52 is congruence to 24 mode 7. It says that for a positive integer n, the integers a and b are congruent mode n if their remainders when they are divided by n are the same. So 52 is congruent to 24 mode 7. So paano siya nangyari? As we can see above, 52 and 24 are congruent mode 7 because 52 mode 7, the answer is 3. So paano nakuha yung 3 po dito? So 7 times 9 is 49. 52 minus 49, the answer is 3. Okay? So that is their remainder. Kaya sabi niya, their remainders are the same. Dito naman, 24 mode 7. Because 7 times 3 is 21. 24 minus 21, the remainder is 3. Ibig sabihin, at mode 7, these two integers are congruent with each other. Okay? Note that equal is different from congruent or congruence, no? Another way of defining this is that integers a and b are congruent mode n if their difference a minus b is an integer multiple of n. That is, if quantity a minus b divided by n has a remainder of 0. Okay, so dapat wala tayong remainder na 0 para maging congruence din po siya. Tulad dito, 36 is congruent to 10 at mode 13. So we're going to follow the procedure. This is your A, this is your B, A minus B. So we have 36 minus 10. The answer is 26. Is an integer. Multiple of n is equal to 13. Because 26 is a factor of 2 times 13. Okay? So 2 times 13, that is 26. And if we're going to have that one, 26 divided by 13, the answer is 2. And the remainder is 0. Kaya tinawag nilang congruence. Dito sa una, congruent sila pag pareho yung remainder po nila. Sa pangalawa, pag sinubtract mo yung dalawang number at i-divide mo siya sa n, dapat walang remainder para maging congruence mo sila. So example dito, 29 is congruent to 8, mode 3. It's a true congruence using your step 2. 29 minus 8 is 21. And 21 divided by 3, the answer is 7. And that is a whole number. And 7 is an integer. Kaya tinawag nilang congruence at mode 3. Dito naman, mode 13, no? Kasi doon po siya i-divide. Dito, pag divide mo siya ng 3, the answer is 7. Okay? Pwede rin siya maging mode 7 dito, no? That is mode 7 naman. 29 minus 8 is equal to 21. 21 divided by 7, the answer is 3. So, mode 7 ang tawag naman doon. Dito, yung divisor niya, that is your mode n. By this time, we have 3. Next, 15 is congruent to 4, mode 6. Is not a true congruent since 15 minus 4 is equal to 11. And 11 divided by 6 is not an integer. It is a rational numbers. And it's not a whole number. With that, this one, 15, is not congruent to 4 at mode 6. So that's our example. Okay? So next we were